All right, welcome back, Math 10-3. Today we are going to learn two chapters. Chapter 1.5 talk about income, commission, and chapter 1.6 talk about another type of income, which is piecework. Now, a little bit of a recalling commission. Any type of sales are the one that not every work per se, but there are several commission for any type of salesperson's job, and that can include several others, such as car salesman, or it can be real estate. Real estate is a good example. Now, one thing that I want you to understand is when it comes to any type of commission, you need to master this percentage skill. Because commission work like 15% out of your whole paycheck, something like that. You get some ratio of the whole portion. So I like to say, oops, sorry. There we go. Some of the portion or ratio are the one that correlates to that. Now, one thing that I want to point it out is this. So how can you calculate, let's say, 2% of 12,200? There are two different ways that you can solve this simple ratio question. One of the way is you can find 2% out of this and find out that percentage. And what I mean by that is this. Convert this percentage into decimal, 0.02, and multiply by whole thing. 12,200, something like that. Then you will get 0.02 and then multiply by 12,200. So you will have about $244. This is one of the way. Now, however, you don't have this question from workbook per se, but imagine you get 2% bonus. 2% of your regular salary, something like that. And how can you do without using addition or subtraction? This is what you do. I know it's 2%, but if it's additional, that's adding. So instead of finding 2% of that and then add it to original value, you can just make this percentage as 102%, which is 1.02. And then you can just multiply by whatever the amount. Then if I use that, you will get $12,444. This is a little easier method when you think about some commission related work. So I may use more than one different method when it comes to this part. Let's do an example. This classic example is available on page 18. So let's get this started. Sabina is a salesperson at Electronics Empire, earning a base salary of $340 per week. She also earns 1.5% commission on the total value of all goods she sells each month. These are her sales of November. It's bi-weekly, it seems, when I look at the question. First half and second half. And we are trying to find out their gross income. First thing first, let's talk about how much. Oh, and by the way, the question asks you about gross income in November as a month. Let's talk about easy part first. 340 per week. Now, that means as a basic salary, you're going to do 340 multiplied by 4 because you have 4 weeks in 1 month. And that itself is about $1,360. However, she earned two bi-weekly commission for the first half and second half. 1.5% is basically 0.015 as a ratio, 0.015 as a ratio. For the first bi-weekly or first half of the month, you had $55,340. Second half, $75,920. So you need to find out how much these cost. And then what we are going to do is add everything up. That's the gross income. So 0.015 times $55,340 is basically equivalent to 830.10. So that is how much you should earn for the first half. 0.0 as a bonus, I mean 75,920. If you do 1,138.80. So this is how much you get for the sales amount. So 1,360 plus 830.10 plus 1,138.80 gives me 328.90. And that is how much gross income that Sabina earned in the month of November. That's what you can do. Let's do one more. Example number 2 is available on page 19. I have Jasmine, who sells clothing part-time at BB's Boutique. We have several clues. When it comes to monthly salary, she received $950 per month. When it comes to first commission work, she have, I'm gonna put commission number 1. She have 4% of her sale amount, $15,000. And when it comes to commission number 2, there are 6% of $15,000. And this is when your sale is over 15%. So now what we need to do is, the question is not fully finished. These two are useful information on commission work. 4% commission on the first 15,000 and 6% that is over the 15,000. Jasmine had a total sale, and that amount is $28,200. So we need to break some parts. We have several things going on. First thing first, our basic salary In this case, $950 since it's per month. And the question is asking about how much is a gross income for that certain month. So you need to do that. So 950 is one. Number two, what you need to do for the other commission is I have 15,000 sale. In fact, she have way more than 15,000. So if you actually subtract 28,200 minus 15,000, you have about 15,000 and 13,200. And what I'm going to do at this time is commission number one, you will use it for this specific amount. Commission number two, we're going to use this remainder 13,200. So 0.04. Make sure you convert percentage into ratio. 15,000 will give me some amount. Gonna do the same thing. 0.06 times by 13,200 will give me certain amount. 0.04 times 15,000 will give me 600 as a little bonus. If you do 6% of that, the other amount, you will get $792. So we have this amount, that amount, and the last amount. We need to add everything up. So 950 plus 600 plus 792 give me 2,342. And that is how much she earned for that month. Originally, I was going to cover another part of the lesson, but we have covered quite a bit. I didn't know commission part will go this long, and maybe it's a good point to conclude today's lesson.